Pakistan-China terror tango exposed once again. Top military sources tell India today Pakistan and China are pushing terror to divert India's attention from Ladakh. Parliamentary Affairs Minister speaks exclusively to India today on suspension saga, says the opposition deliberately disrupted Parliament to take revenge after poll loss. Claims Rahul Gandhi instigated protests. Olympian Bajrang Punia now returns his Padma Shri award in protest against the newly elected wrestling chief. Punia writes to Prime Minister Modi, says, "Betis were forced to quit the sport." This comes after Sakshi Malik hung up her boots on the same issue. Politics over Karnataka Mantri's jet splurge. BJP attacks Siddaramaiah Sarkara for wasting money on private jets amid drought in the state. Siddaramaiah Mantri calls it diversionary tactics by the BJP, while Siddaramaiah says even Modi travels in a private jet. Ram Mandir preparations in Ayodhya enters its final stages, but invite showdown now begins. Uddhav Sena slammed Modi government for no invite to consecration ceremony. French President Emmanuel Macron accepts Prime Minister Modi's invite, confirmed as India's chief guest at the Republic Day parade on Jan 26, 2024. All right, big news. I.N.D.I.A party setback there as Sanjay Singh, AAP MP, a case against Sanjay Singh, the court says is, Delhi court says the case against Sanjay Singh is genuine. Well, this comes as a setback surely for Sanjay Singh, as the court says evidence shows Sanjay Singh's involvement. Singh accused of taking liquor gate kickbacks. The court says Sanjay Singh connected to proceeds of the crime. Big development in the I.N.D.I.A party MP Sanjay Singh, who was known, at least perceived to be a firebrand politician and one of the close men of Arvind Kejriwal, who's been taken into custody on the Delhi Liquorgate case. The Delhi court hearing a case on this says evidence shows signs of involvement, case looks genuine. Shrishti Oja joining us live for more on that. Shrishti, give us more on the Delhi court's observation and what led to the court. All right, we've lost Shrishti's connection. We're trying to patch her back on the line. Sanjay Singh, who is currently in custody, a big setback now for him as the Delhi court observing a case on Sanjay Singh's arrest says the case looks genuine. Evidence shows Sanjay Singh's involvement in the Delhi Liquorgate. In fact, Sanjay Singh is accused of taking kickbacks in the Delhi Liquorgate. Shrishti back with us. Shrishti, go on. Sanjay Singh's case looks genuine, Delhi court observes.
Well, yes, definitely big setback for I.N.D.I.A party leader Sanjay Singh. Earlier today, a Delhi court had refused to grant him bail in the money laundering case. Remember, he's accused only in the case which is being probed by the ED and not by the CBI. This makes Sanjay Singh the second I.N.D.I.A party leader after Manish Sisodia, who has been denied bail by Delhi's Rouse Avenue court. However, what's more important here is the court observations which have come in the order by the court, where they have said that based on the evidence and the material before it, court is of the opinion that there's a prima facie case which shows involvement of Sanjay Singh in this particular case. Let me take you through more details of what the order has said. It says that the evidence clearly shows Sanjay Singh's involvement in the alleged money laundering which is being claimed by the Enforcement Directorate. Again, big remark from Delhi's Rouse Avenue court against Sanjay Singh. Not just that, also that the evidence shows that directly or indirectly he was in fact connected to the proceeds of crime. Not just that, the court has also referred to Supreme Court's recent order where it had denied bail to Aam Aadmi Party leader Manish Sisodia, and now the Delhi court, while denying bail to Singh, has also said that in a way the basic case of ED has been in a way endorsed by Supreme Court through its observations, because SC did in a way endorse ED's case by observing that there was in fact like bribes and exchange of kickbacks were involved in this entire case.
So how long do you believe that Sanjay Singh, or what are the other legal options Sanjay Singh could have now?
Well, recently, as we know, the Delhi High Court had also refused to grant any relief to Sanjay Singh. He had challenged the legality of his arrest by the ED and also the order through which he was sent to remand. After that, after the Delhi High Court refused to grant him any relief, he had then moved to the Supreme Court. His case is still pending before the Supreme Court. In fact, it was the top court of the country which had suggested that Sanjay Singh should apply for bail. So now there is a scope, some scope of relief from the top court, and also he can challenge today's order before the Delhi High Court. Back to you.
Thanks very much, Shrishti, for joining us on that. Sanjay Singh to be in custody for a little longer, clearly, with the Delhi High Court observing that his case looks genuine. It's now come as a setback for him and his attempts to any kind of relief in the Delhi Liquorgate case. All right, here's more news coming in on the mimicry Mahabharat, the issue that only escalates at this point. We know Team Modi trains its guns at Rahul Gandhi. Home Minister Amit Shah says senior Congress leader insulted Vice President Jagdeep Dhankar. Anurag Thakur calls Rahul undemocratic. Remember, this comes right on the sidelines of the opposition MPs, almost all parties of the India bloc, and those who were suspended, particularly from both houses of parliament, held protests today. Across India, there were several protests condemning the suspension in the parliament, saying this was undemocratic, muscling down the voice of the people, etc. While that said, you still have the mimicry done by Kalyan Banerjee becoming the highlight, with the BJP, including Home Minister Amit Shah now reacting, training his guns on Rahul Gandhi, saying senior Congress leaders are the ones responsible of insulting the Rajya Sabha chair. Let's have a listen.
एज ए लेजिस्लेटर मैं बिल को पायलट कर रहा था। मेरे मन में बहुत इच्छा थी कि इसमें प्रतिपक्ष के भी विचार आए, परंतु दुर्भाग्य की बात कि क्षुल्लक कारणों के कारण बहाना बनाकर विपक्ष ने ये पूरे बिल की चर्चा का बहिष्कार करने का दुर्भाग्यपूर्ण निर्णय। जब देश की क्रिमिनल जस्टिस सिस्टम के अंदर आमूलचूल परिवर्तन लाने वाले 3 कानूनों पर बहस हो रही थी संसद के अंदर, विपक्ष के सदस्य संसद के बाहर महामहिम उपराष्ट्रपति की मिमिक्री करने का काम कर रहे थे। इससे ज्यादा निंदनीय काम कोई और हो नहीं सकता। और कांग्रेस जैसी पुरानी पार्टी के प्रमुख नेता इसकी वीडियोग्राफी कर मखौल उड़ा रहे। इस देश में कभी भी ढेर सारी सरकारें आई और गई, परंतु संवैधानिक पदों की मर्यादा को हमेशा बनाए रखा गया। भारतीय जनता पार्टी पक्ष में रही या विपक्ष, हमने कभी संवैधानिक पद पर बैठे हुए व्यक्ति के सम्मान को चोट नहीं पहुंचने दी, न पहुंचाई।
श्रीमान राहुल गांधी अपरिपक्व, अगंभीर, अलोकतांत्रिक है। उनका आचरण लोकसभा के अंदर हो या सदन के बाहर हो, ये शर्मसार करने वाला है। कैसे एक व्यक्ति जो एक बड़े राजनीतिक दल का अध्यक्ष रहा हो, वर्षों से सदन का सदस्य हो, सांसद हो, उसके बावजूद एक नहीं अनेक बार कभी बोलकर तो कभी अपने कृत्यों के माध्यम से आलोचना सहता है। राहुल गांधी जी ने जो किया, देश उनको माफ नहीं करेगा। अगर कोई सांसद कुकृत्य कर रहा था तो उसको रोकना चाहिए था, कुकृत्य में शामिल नहीं होना चाहिए था। संवैधानिक पदों की न गरिमा न सम्मान बल्कि अपमान करने का काम श्रीमान राहुल गांधी ने किया है। पूरी कांग्रेस पार्टी को माफी मांगनी चाहिए। सोनिया जी, राहुल गांधी जी को ऐसा लगता है मुंह में बर्फ जम गई है, होंठ सिल गए हैं। माफी मांगना तो दूर, ये उल्टा आरोप लगा रहे हैं।
All right. Meanwhile, Parliamentary Affairs Minister speaks exclusively to India today on that suspension saga, says the opposition deliberately disrupted Parliament to take revenge after the poll loss in 5 states, the Hindi heartland mainly, claims that Rahul Gandhi instigated the protests. He speaks to Rajdeep Sardesai. Have a listen.
So you're saying the opposition used the suspensions as a tactic in a way to ensure that Parliament is...
They never wanted to run the
They
Parliament.
didn't want to run the Parliament. But I want to understand from you, when I look at the numbers, 2004 to 14, sir, UPA 1 and 2, 50 MPs were suspended Lok Sabha. 2014 to 23, it's 210 and counting. What does this suggest? Is there a breakdown of trust? The opposition does not want to work with you, and you are a majority government, you don't want to work with the opposition. My way or the highway seems to be on both sides.
That is not correct, and I have already explained you the position many a times. We requested them. We asked for the consultation. We asked for the, ultimately it is the democracy where you can corner the government by disrupting government. Normally क्या होता है? By disrupting, opposition will be losing the opportunity. You could have raised 100 questions against the government, and इतने बड़े देश में, in such a big country, you can, any government, कितने भी अच्छे काम करते हैं तो भी कहीं ना कहीं तो कॉर्नर कर सकते हैं। वो भी आप ना सुनो, आप अपॉर्चुनिटी खो लेते हैं, और हमारा रिक्वेस्ट करने के बावजूद भी तो आप चुनाव के बाद, चुनाव के रिजल्ट के बाद आप क्या बोलते हैं? आप ये बोलते हैं ऐसे आराम से चल रहा है, और एक मौका मिलता है 40 मिनट, आप 2 बजे के बाद 40 मिनट चर्चा क्यों किया आपने? बाद में कौन बोला आपको रोकने के लिए?
So who do you think stopped it? You're hinting that someone outside the Parliament instructed the MPs to disrupt Parliament and not allow it to function. That's the insinuation you're making, right? You're saying someone is directing the Congress MPs to get themselves suspended.
As soon as it started again at 2 o'clock, it ran up to the 2:40. And who disrupted it? Ask the, why did they allow for 40 minutes, and then why did they stop it?
All right, now suspension showdown that rages on with the opposition MPs storming the streets of the national capital against the centre over suspension of 146 lawmakers. Netas have questioned the centre as to why there's been no statement in the parliament by either Prime Minister Modi or the Home Minister Amit Shah on the security breach that rattled both houses of the parliament. Here's a look.
Indian politics at boiling point. Mass suspensions of opposition MPs and parliament security breach are the biggest flashpoints this political season. Opposition MPs from the I.N.D.I.A bloc took to the streets on Friday in a march from Parliament to protest against the suspension of 146 lawmakers. Bearing placards that said, Parliament caged, democracy expelled, leaders from opposition parties upped the ante against centre. Congress President Mallikarjun Kharge took aim at Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Home Minister Amit Shah for not addressing the security breach in Parliament.
ऐसे कई जो 147 एमपीज में दूर दूर बैठे थे, मुंह भी नहीं खोले थे, बोलने का बात उनको समय भी नहीं मिला, लेकिन उसको सस्पेंड किया गया।
पार्लियामेंट के बाहर
Congress MP Rahul Gandhi slammed the Modi government for suspending the MPs for merely asking questions on the parliament security breach.
मतलब इन्होंने ये नहीं कहा कि 150 सांसदों को बाहर कर दिया, पार्लियामेंट के बाहर खड़ा कर दिया। यह सवाल मीडिया ने नहीं पूछा, क्यों किया, कैसे किया।
The opposition has been rallying against the BJP, accusing the ruling party MPs of causing disruptions whenever opposition lawmakers tried to bring up the matter for discussion in the House.
लोकतंत्र की मां की हत्या हो गई है। अब लोकतंत्र की मां को पुनर्जीवित करना, क्योंकि विदेश जाते हैं तो सीना ठोक के बोलते हैं मदर ऑफ डेमोक्रेसी से आया हूं। अब क्या सीना ठोकेंगे पीएम साहब?
आज देश के संविधान और जनतंत्र को बचाना है, वो संकल्प लिए हैं और यही कहा कि भारत जुड़ेगा, इंडिया जीतेगा।
The centre hit back at Rahul Gandhi, claiming he's backing parliament intruders.
Many MPs, कुछ लोगों को हमने सस्पेंड किया शुरुआत के दिन में, बाद में सब लोग आके रिक्वेस्ट करना शुरू किया, हमको बाहर जाना है, हमको सस्पेंड करो करके। ये कांग्रेस पार्टी का लेवल है।
With nearly 150 MPs suspended and bills passed without any participation by the opposition, the last parliament session of 2023 has deepened the divide between the Modi government and the opposition. Bureau Report, India Today.
Some big news coming in on the terror attack in Jammu and Kashmir's Rajouri. The governor of Jammu and Kashmir versus TMC over the attack. Clash, war of words now. Continue with the governor of Jammu and Kashmir taking a dig at West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee. Manoj Sinha says better atmosphere in Jammu and Kashmir than in compared to Bengal, while TMC retorts to the governor's taunt, saying Jammu and Kashmir governor is misusing his post. Bengal is indeed the safest city. All this war of words now between West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee and Jammu and Kashmir Governor Manoj Sinha, with the governor saying that the situation in Jammu and Kashmir right now is far better than what is in West Bengal, while Mamata Banerjee responding that Manoj Sinha is making use of misusing his post rather, and says Bengal is indeed the safest state. Kolkata is one of the safest cities. Let me cut across to Manoj Sinha, what he said.
ये दुर्भाग्यपूर्ण घटना हुई है और हमारा पड़ोसी इस तरह की नापाक हरकतें करता है। आतंकवाद अंतिम सांसें वहां ले रहा है। आतंकवाद पूरी तरह समाप्त हो, उसका पूरा इकोसिस्टम समाप्त हो, इसके लिए सुनियोजित रणनीति पर काम हो रहा है।
Instead of misusing the chair of Jammu Kashmir governor, the concerned person, today's governor, should consult with former governor J&K, Satyapal Malik. This is the safest, according to central government reports, the safest city, Kolkata, safest state, West Bengal, and the incidents, unfortunate incidents, planned incidents, which are happening against women also, that is UP, that is MP. So he should not misuse his chair as BJP cadre.
All right, shifting our focus now to the Wrestling Federation. That's now, of course, a lot of friction there within the federation itself, with now in the latest Bajrang Punia wrestler, Olympian, returning his Padma Shri over elections of the new Wrestling Federation of India chief. The Olympic medalist Bajrang Punia has now decided to return his Padma Shri in protest over Brij Bhushan Sharan Singh's loyalist Sanjay Singh being elected as the president of the Wrestling Federation. Bajrang himself took to X platform to share a letter addressed to Prime Minister Narendra Modi. In fact, the Olympian announced his decision to return the award in that letter, citing denial of justice to all those female wrestlers as the reason. Nearly 12 wrestlers, remember, women wrestlers, had accused a former WFI chief, Brij Bhushan, of sexual assault. And despite assurances by the Sports Ministry, it doesn't seem like the case has moved forward. There's been no solution, or at least there's no action on the accused yet, as investigations still continue months after the protests. Many of those players there, wrestlers, particularly Sakshi Malik and Bajrang Punia, believe that justice is still pending months on. Vinesh Phogat as well addressing a press conference following Sanjay Singh's election, during which Sakshi Malik herself, another Olympian, the only woman Olympian wrestler in India, decided to hang up her boots, broke down in fact while addressing that press conference, and said Sanjay Singh is a close aide of Brij Bhushan, and the fact that he is now at the helm of affairs, she finds it very hard to believe that justice will be given to all those victims who have accused Brij Bhushan of sexual harassment.
ये मेडल लेके मैं जी के करना भी चाहिए आगे जाने का। जब ये दिन को देखते तो वो चुभते हैं कि भाई ये किस लिए ये सम्मान हमें मिला था। जब हम बहन बेटियों के लिए लड़े उसमें हम सफल नहीं हो पाए, तो ये सम्मान का मुझे लगता है मैं हकदार नहीं हूँ इस सम्मान का।
All right, now coming up on the other side, Karnataka government reached out to Prime Minister Modi asking for funds and relief for the drought-hit state. And while they did so, they flew in a private jet to land in Delhi, make that request and come back in a private jet. All was well until Minister Zamir Ahmed decided to put up a video of him flaunting himself, posing in the private jet while people are struggling and suffering under drought crisis in Karnataka, becoming a huge flashpoint between the two parties in the state. A lot more on that on To The Point on the other side. Stay with us.
India, as you know, is a land of diversity where countless stories are born every day. A brand that has celebrated the rich mosaic of our country, India Today, is the brand that has been covering stories from all spheres of life from across the country tirelessly, making sense of the myriad India and the Indians residing in here. The story of India Today and the story of my latest film, Donkey, which is inspired by the phenomenal dreams and struggles of the same Indians and is a story about love and friendship filled with humor and heart.
हमने मजबूरी में अपना घर छोड़ा था, वरना कोई अपना देश, अपना परिवार, अपने दोस्तों को छोड़कर क्यों जाएगा सरहदों पे गोली खाने?
While my film Donkey symbolizes the struggle of many who leave home and their loved ones behind in the hope for a better life, they miss their homeland in this tough bargain. But it's their spirit that helps them carry on. India Today has been capturing the indomitable spirit of being an Indian for over 5 decades now. India Today, making sense to India, making sense of India.
India's parliamentary democracy is under attack. Therefore, to save the Parliament of India and save democracy in India, we are going to the people today across the state headquarters, everywhere, every state headquarters, a symbolic protest by the India Alliance has been organized. And today in Jantar Mantar, in the Parliamentary Street, India Alliance is going to have all the MPs who are all in Delhi will join that demonstration for a protest again to save democracy.
ऐसा है, नंबर एक तो जितने बड़े पैमाने पर संसद सदस्यों का निलंबन किया गया वो अलोकतांत्रिक तो था ही, और इस उद्देश्य से किया गया कि संसद में जो सुरक्षा में चूक हुई है, जो सेंध लगा है, उसके असली दोषी जो बीजेपी का एमपी है उसका नाम कहीं सामने ना आने पाए, और अगर बयान दिया जाएगा तो नाम आएगा, तो बयान नहीं दिया गया। यही मांग थी विपक्ष की।
one of the ideas that's been thrown up this week is the idea of making Mallikarjun Kharge, the current Congress president, the prime ministerial face of the India alliance. Mamata Banerjee and Arvind Kejriwal have both suggested this idea. Do you see there is some traction there in this attempt to try and stitch the Dalits, the Muslims and some other communities together, depending on which party is in alliance, but basically by projecting Mallikarjun Kharge as the prime ministerial face to take on Prime Minister Modi?
Well, Rahul, I'm a believer that if you do something right or wrong, it would have some impact. Say when India Alliance called themselves India instead of calling themselves UPA, definitely there has been a chatter, there was a buzz, but they stopped there. Similarly, if they announce a face, whether it is Mr. Kharge or somebody else, definitely it will add some more jing to what they are trying to do. But the irony here is that Mr. Kharge's name was proposed by Ms. Mamata Banerjee and Kejriwal. His own party did not necessarily back the idea. Mr. Kharge is the president of Congress. So if it would have proposed by Mamata Banerjee, Arvind Kejriwal and backed solidly by Congress, then it would have got merit to discuss. I do agree that if Mr. Kharge is made a prime ministerial face on the part of India Alliance, it would definitely add some, it would give some advantage to India Alliance because he is a tall leader, senior leader. How much, that I don't know, because he is from South India. And largely the battle with BJP is in North and the Hindi heartland. But definitely, rather than having no face, if you would have a face, it would have an advantage.
Co-powered by PolicyBazaar.com. हर फैमिली होगी इंश्योर्ड. टाटा सफारी, reclaim your life.
All right, now it's in fact, all-out war as we see between the BJP and the Congress. Yet again in Karnataka, Karnataka Minister Zamir Ahmed Khan is facing flack for his videos and photo shot or a shoot that he carried out inside a posh private jet from Delhi to Bengaluru, back and forth, basically from Bengaluru, Delhi and back on December 20th, which has now gone viral on social media. While the BJP slammed the Congress was quick to respond, saying that the Chief Minister is not the only one. This is not unprecedented. The Prime Minister Modi as well travels in a private jet alone, all by himself, everywhere he goes. Why don't you direct the question to BJP? This is the response of the Congress. Let's have a listen.
A swanky private jet with plush seating. Top netas from Karnataka flaunting their lavish lifestyle. This video, originally posted by Karnataka Housing Minister Zamir Ahmed Khan, shows him with Chief Minister Siddaramaiah while returning to Bengaluru from Delhi after seeking drought relief from the Narendra Modi government. Zaheer Ahmed Khan posted the video with the caption, "Happy moments of travelling with our proud leader, Chief Minister Siddaramaiah." The Karnataka government delegation had met Prime Minister Modi on December the 19th, requesting 18,000 crore rupees in relief packages for the state undergoing a historic drought. Well, soon after Zamir posted the video on Twitter, a full-blown political war started between the BJP and the Congress. Top BJP leaders tore into the ruling Congress over Zamir's lavish photo shoot inside a private jet amidst a drought in Karnataka.
कांग्रेस का डबल स्टैंडर्ड इसमें ही हम देख सकते हैं। हम 10-15 सर्विसेज है बिटवीन दिल्ली बेंगलुरु एंड बेंगलुरु दिल्ली। इसमें तो ऐसे लग्जरियस एयरक्राफ्ट लेके जाना इस टाइम तो बिल्कुल गलत है और एक तरफ डोनेशन मांग कर रहे हैं।
Siddaramaiah himself has forgotten his responsibility. Being a Chief Minister of Karnataka state, it clearly shows the seriousness of the state government and carelessness of state government against a farmer's the distress. It's very unfortunate. Bharatiya Janata Party strongly condemns Siddaramaiah's and his government's attitude.
The Congress hit back at the BJP, questioning Prime Minister Modi's travels.
Please ask this question to BJP people. Narendra Modi ಅವರು ಯಾವ ವಿಮಾನದಲ್ಲಿ ತಿರುಗಾಡ್ತಾರೆ? ಒಬ್ಬರೇ ತಿರುಗಾಡ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ, ಯಾಕೆ ತಿರುಗಾಡ್ತಾರೆ? So they have come on a special flight which normally the Chief Minister uses. So it is quite natural, obvious. There is nothing great in it. As earlier also, when earlier BJP ministers, Chief Minister used to use, my Chief Minister also, in order to save time, he has come out. There is nothing wrong in it. This is all a political statement. We don't mind their comments on that.
The controversy is bad optics and imagery for the Congress as Chief Minister Siddaramaiah's flight to Delhi in a private jet comes in the middle of a crowdfunding campaign by the grand old party. With Sagai Raj at Bengaluru, Bureau Report, India Today.
All right, that's the pompous Zamir Ahmed there, walking like a hero inside that very private jet. He's posing for the cameras, and he did speak to the media. In fact, India Today was present as well while he responded, saying it's his fans who've cut out a video and edited it in such a manner and put it up. It's not his fault, though it's been published on his very platform itself. Let me cut across to Aishwarya Mahadev, who's the national spokesperson of the Congress party. We are also getting BJP's Ashok KM Gowda. We are also waiting for Santosh Lad, who is the Labour Minister of Karnataka, joining us in just a few moments. Aishwarya, how would you look at this plush ride of the Chief Minister Siddaramaiah with his band of ministers, Krishna Bairegowda, you had Zamir Ahmed. These are top faces in the state of Karnataka, flying in a private jet while you're asking for nearly 4,800 crores as aid for drought relief.
Nabila, first and foremost, I don't want to comment on the proclivity for pomp of the minister in question and the grotesque nature of it. But let me make a few things very, very clear. You cannot conflate the state's need to get the central government to release drought relief to the chief minister renting or using a private charter to expedite his travel purposes and his travel needs. I believe the BJP is bereft of any other issue, so much so that their own MLA saying the BJP has no issues in session. This is Mr. Vishwanath, their own Yelahanka MLA, who has said this. And so the BJP is trying to distract and divert from the larger issue. Let's bring this down to what the focus is. The Chief Minister of my state has requested for 18,000 crores in drought relief. One, yes, does this look like the sort of incongruity of him traveling in such a luxurious vehicle? Yes, that does look like it. But it is done as practiced by Chief Minister, so much so that Prime Minister Modi, when he was chief minister, used a charter over 100 times in the period, in the run-up to 2014. And let me also make this clear. It is a rented charter. It does not belong to anybody. Of course, Mr. Zamir Ahmed has had a photo shoot, and the sort of morality and the optics of it is for him to answer. But let's also point out, 8,000 crores was used to purchase a jet for the Prime Minister at the peak of COVID. Was that not opulence that was unnecessary? you also realize that let us make other things also clear. The BJP, you talk about bad optics, Nabila. The only bad optics is BS Yediyurappa storing the state of drought-hit districts while his own central government has not released funds. Bad optics is when Yediyurappa is chief minister, who basically goes and begs and cries the central government for drought relief when he was CM, where we had 35,000 crores worth of crop loss and damage because of flood and drought also in that year. And the central government couldn't even release a measly hundreds of crores. Let us not deflect from the issues. Let us not divert. Let us not conflate. The debate has to be that Karnataka legitimately has these dues. The chief minister traveled to request for it. The BJP has no answer, has no response to the funds that we require, which is why they're indulging in this activity. And that is the reality, Nabila.
Well, as much as you may want to slam the BJP at the moment, the video here acts counterproductive. Aishwarya, I'm sure you'd agree with me. That image there of Zamir Ahmed Khan walking about like a fashion model, wearing sunglasses inside the plane, as he poses, crosses his legs, smiles to the camera. So he's really enjoying that plush ride. There's no doubt that he's trying to do a bit of a show off and entertain his people on his social media.
Nabila, I don't know if it was a flex. I don't know if it was in bad taste. I don't know if it was something that was basically done by his fans. And I'm sure he himself is the person that can comment on that. But
he did. He said, my fans have put it up. But, well, ultimately, it's his account. It's not his fans' account. It's his platform.
Fair enough. I'm not going to dissect what somebody posts on their social media, and most necessarily national television, especially a channel as reputed as yours and a primetime show such as yours, is not going to get into that, Nabila. But I'm very sure the fact is the BJP is going or looking for a needle in a haystack because they're bereft of larger issues, which is why their IT cell is going overboard about this. It is a standard practice. I can give you a list of chief ministers who have done it. I can tell you what Prime Minister Modi has done as chief minister. I can tell you what he's done as prime minister as well. What is ordinarily protocol to ensure fast travel for a chief minister may have been touted in a social media frenzy, but that does not take away from the issue whatsoever, and it should not take away from the issue. And the BJP should engage on that.
What takes away from the issue here is that you all are struggling for funds. You want aid and relief for drought in the state. So this image of Zamir Ahmed Khan really takes away from the actual issue. And this is bad PR. To be honest, if you really are seeking an appointment with the Prime Minister to get fund relief for the state, this is certainly bad PR. It's really counterproductive. But I'll come to you, Aishwarya. Let me go to Ashok K.M. Gowda, BJP Karnataka spokesperson. Please go on, Ashok. The Congress says there are no other issues. You're trying to find a needle from a haystack. You have several issues to actually ponder on, but you have every way to distract your crowd.
There are so many issues which you have been raising and saying it to the people of Karnataka and people of India at the large. This Congress government is failing at every foot, including the drought hit relief fund for the people of Karnataka and people who are suffering. They have almost 10 to 20 lakhs to travel in the private jet and with every luxury, but they do not have 600 rupees to give it to clean for the manure slavage, which has to be cleaned by a machine, but not by a human children. Six people have been seriously ill because of this. And they do not have 300 rupees to give it to Akka or Ayama to get the toilets clean in a Alur village in a school. Just today it is reported. There are so many issues. They do not have 3,000 rupees in their account, which was given to the Tumkur farmers. And they say a farmer's life is 5 lakh rupees, but they have every luxury. Forget about this. They bought 34 cars, luxury cars, worth 35 lakhs each. Only when the Karnataka is hit drought, and Karnataka has so many issues in relating to the financial management, and all the guarantees are failing and not reaching. The 5 kgs of rice is given to people of Karnataka.
You're saying guarantees have failed and not reached, Ashok. Is that right? Is that what you said? You said guarantees have failed and not reached. Could you tell us, out of the 5-6 guarantees Congress has promised, where have they failed?
Yes, Shakti Akki Yojana, that is Annabhagya, what they promised. what has happened? 5 kgs is given by the central government, only 3 kgs is reaching to the people of Karnataka. Now come to the power, Gruha Jyoti. People of Karnataka across the state, they get power. Earlier, when our government was there, the power was uninterrupted for farmers. They used to get it from 6 o'clock evening till 6 o'clock morning. They could go to their fields and water their crops and come back. Now what is happening? Only 2 hours they are getting. At what time? 12 o'clock. At 2 o'clock. And this is the slot. Because of that, what is happening? And the farmer has to wake up at 12 o'clock, take their children because the power is only for 2 hours.
Okay, all right. We heard that. We heard that. But, just Ashok, the Congress responds saying the fact that you're raising questions on the private jet, if we could play those visuals of Zamir Ahmed there in the jet, very interesting visuals. So, Ashok, as much as you pick on that private jet being used by the Karnataka Chief Minister, he very quickly responds, what does Prime Minister Narendra Modi use while he has to travel on official visit? And that too, Modi travels alone. Private jets are expensive. Modi flies a private jet too. Do you agree?
Prime Minister of India...
And not just Prime Minister Modi, most of all of your states where the BJP governs, your chief ministers fly private jet.
Apparently, the Prime Minister of India has got a protocol wherein whenever he has to travel to places, he has to have a protocol, and he has a Z+ security covered the post. And whereas the Chief Minister of Karnataka do not have such security, there is no need. In fact, as common as possible, they can remain. But they want to show the luxury at the cost of whom? At the cost of the taxpayer. Siddaramaiah says, I am a socialist. Why does he want all this? Why does he want a Hublot watch? Why does he want a private jet with a luxury? And
that's a very pertinent question, which I was going to Aishwarya with. Aishwarya, Siddaramaiah calls himself a socialist. For a man like him who's always projected to have nothing to do with worldly luxuries and everything to do with the poor people, their needs, he's projected himself as a socialist. That's how he's won election as well as an I.N.D.I.A leader. For him to be flying, again, a private jet, I'll ask you the same question. Isn't that counterproductive? Is that not a branding which is totally going wrong?
Nabila, let's make this very clear. He doesn't project himself as a socialist. He is a socialist. My chief minister has very firmly stood for the people of Karnataka and constantly will. And on the same question, let me ask the BJP. You talk about Garibi Chaiwala, you talk about how you have renounced the world for the service of the nation. And this is the man that bought an 8,000 crore private jet. While in this instance, it's a rent or a charter, the benevolence of somebody who owns a jet who's allowed the chief minister to use it. But this is a man that bought an 8,000 crore private jet during the peak of COVID. And I have a few responses, and I really want you to indulge me on this, Nabila. Is one, when you talk about the PM protocol, it's not like the chief ministers are not elected heads of states of the federal system that is Karnataka and other states of India. So a lot of chief ministers have been doing this. You want to talk about private jet owners? What about the recent turncoat Praful Patel? What about Mr. Naveen Jindal? You do realize there are fleets and fleets of private BJP leaders who own a lot of these flights. This was a charter which the chief minister had to use because of a meeting, because of the drought situation. One. Second, you talk about, the financial situation in the state. So I'll tell you how you have actually contributed to this. You owe Karnataka over 600 crores of dues in Narega funds. You owe my state over 2,333 crores in GST dues, which you are refusing to pay, which you are willing to pay previously when there was a BJP government, and now you don't want to pay. And you want to talk about CMs and excesses. Go ask the Gujarat CM who spent 191 crores on getting himself a private jet very recently as 2019, and you really want to comment on all my schemes, sir. You have absolutely no...
Ashok Gowda, your response to that. Gujarat Chief Minister's stint on a private jet. Well, let's be honest. You have
he bought one.
Ashok?
Yeah.
Politicians indulging in these pleasures. Politicians indulging in these pleasures in the name of duty cuts across party lines.
No. See, apparently, let us understand what is the point. Aishwarya is accusing us of not releasing the funds. Apparently, let them go read
It's
the
not
statistics.
apparently, it's the
What?
truth.
No. 1 second. No problem. Just wait. 2004 till 2014, when UPA 1 and 2 were there, what was the kind of the amount which was given to state of Karnataka, including Neraga, including aid, including other grants, vagera, all put together, believe me or not, from 2014 till 2023 December as we stand, the amount has almost tripled. You can go check it, and it's there in the websites, and it is there from the data of the Congress's data research team has acknowledged this. That's the point number one. Point number two, yes, a lot of people on the private jets, but at what rate? What is the point? Let them have a private jet. Businessmen having a private jet, I don't have a problem. Zamir Ahmed having a private jet. But the point is, when they were going for asking a relief fund, they could have traveled in the Indigo flight.
That's the irony of it all, right, Aishwarya? The irony of it is that they were going to seek funds. The irony of it is that irony of it is that they were going to seek funds, that there are at least 4,800 crores that you're seeking. We already see a loss. Karnataka state has gone through a loss over drought. The numbers as per October is nearly 30,400 crores losses owing to drought. So that's the irony, that while there's a stark comparison, right? While the state is struggling, those are the kind of losses you're seeing. You have guarantees that you've promised. Already state is under debt. In that scenario, you're taking a private jet to a state, Delhi, national capital, which has multiple flights to and fro. It's not a tier 2 or tier 3 city where there's no connectivity. Great connectivity between Bangalore to Delhi.
I just want to add, there are 24 flights.
Another thing, hang on, Ashok, hang on. My question was to Aishwarya. This trip to Delhi was also pre-planned. It was known very well much in advance. You all could have booked your tickets at a regular flight. You would have saved, in a fraction of a cost, you would have finished that trip without actually bringing bad PR also to the party.
You know, Nabila, if we extend that conversation, you will tell me what coupon code I should have used. But I'll tell you this, Nabila.
Sure. Had you booked in advance, I would have.
The BJP spokesperson went on to say he could have booked Indigo, which is a shame, right? Because they're trying to revive that national carrier, which they so beautifully plundered to the ground. And now, of course, Indigo seems to be the preferred flight. But let me also answer one thing. You know, my chief minister couldn't sit in a private jet of a private individual, like that one picture of our prime minister with a certain businessman, which has gone viral all around. But let's still break this down. If I can tell you today that that flight was free of cost, and somebody lent it to him, or it was a charter at a minimal amount, will that justify the fact that it was because of expediency? You cannot sit and conflate an issue where Karnataka is requesting for funds with saying somebody traveled in a certain way. I can also say this, you have COP 23, 28, whatever, when you talk about climate change, every world leader flies there on a private jet, right? You understand the irony of it. But this is not one of those situations. It was urgent travel. Zamir Ahmed and the chief minister have both clarified that there was a meeting.
What was Zamir Ahmed's business in Delhi, if I may ask? Aishwarya, could you clarify? Zamir Ahmed is a housing minister. His purpose with Siddaramaiah to be in Delhi on that private jet, what was Zamir Ahmed's purpose there? Would you know?
Nabila, do you really want me to sit and dissect who travels with whom when? I believe this channel is a far more serious journalism. So let me come back to the singular point. My state is reeling under drought. The central government owes us money that they have not given us. The irony and the worst hypocrisy in this is Yediyurappa is traveling and touring the state, basically talking about drought assessment. And it's an embarrassment for him because his central government, his party in the center, has not given us funds. And that is what we need to talk about.
Finally, last question from Ashok. Aishwarya, we're very short on time. Ashok, I'll wrap with you. We heard Prahlad Joshi saying they've come here for donation. They've come here to ask money as donation. Now, that's slightly unfair. It's taxpayers' money. Karnataka pays, to the country's economy as well. Y'all are contributors to the country. So it's well within Karnataka state government's rights to seek funds as aid. So calling that donation is a bit unfair by the BJP, isn't it?
The point is very simple, Nabila. For everything, they have one point fingering out at the central government. Is this a union territory? It's a union territory. Karnataka has its own taxes. Karnataka is one of the richest states, but they have made it as poor.
Where
and they show it every time. One second, Aishwarya. I did not disturb you. I did not disturb you. Just wait. No, just wait. This is a union territory. It's not a union territory. It's not a small state. Karnataka as the richest state and Karnataka as the
Ashok, 10 seconds. Aishwarya, hang on. We're off time. Ashok, 10 seconds. We'll wrap. Go on.
Why can't they not take steps without the central government aid? That is point number one. We are not denying that central government is not going to fund for the drought. And there is a central government which will definitely give if they give a right report.
Okay.
Until now, believe me or not, they have not given a right report that the Karnataka revenue minister do not have the statistics that how many people have been drought hit and what is the
all right. Thank you very much. Thank you, both of you. Thank you. We've heard you loud and clear. Aishwarya, apologies, no more time. Thank you, Aishwarya and Ashok, for joining us. Well, clearly, while the state is reeling under drought crisis, you have this now becoming a flashpoint. Zamir Ahmed flying on a private jet with Chief Minister Siddaramaiah. Zamir putting up those pictures on social media, acting like a fashion model on that plane, has really now taken away from the actual issue of drought in the state. This we're going to continue tracking very closely. Thanks very much for watching.
जो सदस्य इसके पक्ष में है वो हाँ कहें, जो सदस्य इसके विरोध में वो ना कहें.
A session in Parliament. With opposition benches almost deserted, the Lok Sabha approved a bill aimed at regulating the appointment of top officials in the Election Commission. 146 suspended MLAs from the opposition taking to the streets to protest their expulsion from Parliament, marking the remainder of a frozen winter session. Brandishing placards, the opposition leaders accused the Modi government of undermining democracy.
सरकार ये नहीं चाहती, मोदी जी ये नहीं चाहते और सदन के मुखिया है वो भी नहीं चाहते कि सदन चले.
The I.N.D.I.A alliance organized a march around the new parliament building in New Delhi.
He is giving a speech and 125-30 people are watching it and they are shouting slogans. This is really, it is, this shows that they don't have faith in democracy. They don't want discussion, debate.
The suspended MPs, of them 100 from the Lok Sabha and 46 from the Rajya Sabha, were alleged to have disrupted proceedings while demanding a debate on last week's security breach in Parliament. In response, the BJP staged its own protest over suspended TMC MP Kalyan Banerjee's mimicry of the Rajya Sabha chair.
He's married to
This bitter political standoff has rendered the country's parliament without an opposition presence during the ongoing session. Legislating without the usual discussions and deliberations. Bureau Report, India Today.
मेरे विचार में निर्णय हाँ वालों के पक्ष में.
Weather forecast now. Delhi, maximum 23 and minimum 8 degrees. Mumbai, maximum 28 and minimum 25 degrees. Kolkata, maximum 27 and minimum 15 degrees. Bangalore, maximum 28 and minimum 18 degrees. Chennai, maximum 26 and minimum 22 degrees. Hyderabad, maximum 28 and minimum 13 degrees.
कांग्रेस का डबल स्टैंडर्ड इसमें ही हम देख सकते हैं, क्योंकि कांग्रेस पार्टी अभी तो दिल्ली बेंगलुरु, मैं तो ये नहीं कह रहा हूं मुख्यमंत्री वगैरह जब अनिवार्य रहते हैं, इनएविटेबल रहते हैं, प्राइवेट जेट यूज नहीं करना, लेकिन रेगुलर इतना फ्लाइट्स है तो ठीक है। अगर आप कई एयर स्ट्रिप है, रेगुलर एयर सर्विस नहीं है, टाइम पे नहीं है, समझ सकता हूं। दिन में कम से कम 10-15 सर्विसेज है बिटवीन दिल्ली बेंगलुरु एंड बेंगलुरु दिल्ली। इसमें तो ऐसे लग्जरियस एयरक्राफ्ट लेके जाना इस टाइम तो बिल्कुल गलत है। और एक तरफ डोनेशन मांग कर रहे हैं, और ये डोनेशन का भी मुझे डाउट क्या है, एक मिनट मैं बताता हूँ। डोनेशन का मुझे एक डाउट ये है कि अपने पास जो ब्लैक मनी है, अपने बहुत नेताओं के पास, कांग्रेस पार्टी के जो नेताओं के पास ब्लैक मनी है,
350 करोड़ निकला भी
वो 350 करोड़ जो निकला है, ऐसे बहुत लोगों के पास जो रखा है, डिपॉजिट स्टोर करके रखा है, उसको तो शायद वाइड करने का एक प्लान होगा। ये
कुछ दिन पहले पार्लियामेंट हाउस में 2-3 युवा जंप करके अंदर आ गए। जंप करते हुए हम सब ने देखा। अंदर आए, थोड़ा धुआं फैलाया, बीजेपी के सांसद सब भग लिए, जो अपने आप को देशभक्त कहते हैं, हवा निकल गई उनकी। वो टीवी पे आपको नहीं दिखा, वो हमें दिख रहा था पीछे से। सबसे पहली बात, अंदर कैसे आए? सिक्योरिटी ब्रीच की बात हुई, सही है। अंदर कैसे आए? पार्लियामेंट के अंदर वो गैस का सिलेंडर ले आए। अगर गैस का सिलेंडर ला सकते थे तो कुछ और भी ला सकते थे।
Weather forecast now. Delhi, maximum 23 and minimum 8 degrees. Mumbai, maximum 28 and minimum 25 degrees. Kolkata, maximum 27 and minimum 15 degrees. Bangalore, maximum 28 and minimum 18 degrees. Chennai, maximum 26 and minimum 22 degrees. Hyderabad, maximum 28 and minimum 13 degrees.
In politics, everyone has an opinion, but I have the data. Whose stock is rising? Whose graph is falling? Track India's political stock exchange. Unmatched, unmissable data analytics. The only show on News TV where numbers do the talking. India's most credible poll tracker. The political stock exchange. With Rahul Kanwal only on India Today.
Presented by RP Sanjeev Goenka Group, Growing Legacies. Co-presented by Century Laminates by Manish Malhotra, Fashion for your furniture.
Co-presented by
Macho Hind, Bade Aaram Se.
Co-presented by
New Kia Sonet, The Wild Reborn. Co-powered by PolicyBazaar.com, Har family hogi insured. Max Life Insurance.
Good evening and welcome. You're watching the news track. I'm Rahul Kanwal. What's going on in the lower reaches of the Pir Panjal in Jammu and Kashmir? Why are we seeing one terror attack after another hitting hard against the Indian Army? Why aren't we being able to stop this? Are we now seeing a deadly China-Pakistan tango? And given the fact that there is a massive outbreak of politics around these terror attacks, what does this mean for the 2024 general elections? And what does this mean for India's posture and position in Jammu and Kashmir? Those very serious questions around national security are my top focus on the news track.
Four army soldiers shot dead. Not just any terror encounter. Third big Rajouri attack in 2023. Is Rajouri new Jammu and Kashmir terror hotspot? Time for another Sarv Vinash. Big focus on News Track.
We get you the latest ground reports from Rajouri. We look at what's happening at the Army headquarters and the Ministry of Defence. We look at the politics that's playing out. Let's get started. Here are the headlines I'm tracking tonight. Suspension showdown escalates. India Alliance parties stage protest at Jantar Mantar in the capital. Parliamentary Affairs Minister accuses Rahul Gandhi of instigating protests inside the Lok Sabha. Opposition parties target the Modi government after the Rajouri terror attack. Farooq Abdullah rakes up Article 370. Uddhav Sena questions the crackdown on Pak-sponsored terror. Karnataka minister's private jet splurge sparks outrage. BJP attacks the Siddaramaiah government for wasting money amid the drought in the state. Olympian Bajrang Punia returns his Padma Shri award in protest against the newly elected wrestling body chief. Punia writes to PM Modi, says Beti is forced to quit the sport. Priyanka Gandhi Vadra meets Sakshi Malik. 640 new COVID infections reported in India today, but only 22 cases of the new COVID variant JN1 detected so far. French President Emmanuel Macron will be the chief guest for the Republic Day 2024. Macron says he'll be there to celebrate with his dear friend Modi. 4 army soldiers were shot dead in Rajouri last night after an army convoy came under attack. But this is not just a normal random terror encounter. This was the third attack in Rajouri just this year. Top defense sources have told India Today that Pakistan and China seem to be working in tandem to revive terrorism in the Poonch sector in an attempt to deflect attention from what's going on in Ladakh. Our defense correspondent Manjeet Negi